Why does the Army now have the most 4-star generals on duty since World War II? The Army now has more 4-star generals on active duty than the Army and Air Force combined had during World War II. Okay, let's put this in perspective for our friendly audience out there. We're talking about the Army NCOs, or Army 4-stars in particular. Every division will have a 2-star general in charge.
All right.
And there are 3 to 5 divisions in an Army element. For example, I worked at the G5 for 8th Army, which was the Pacific Theater Army element. And we had a 4-star general. We had a bunch of them. The only one that I really interacted with at all was General Schwartz when I dressed his boots for him. But there should be, I think we only have 16 divisions in the Army total, and that includes the reserve.
Yeah, I know. I'm curious, how many divisions did we have in World War II?
Oh God, like 30.
Yeah, I think it's like 38.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. At any rate, only at the Army level do you have a 4-star general. And only in wartime, when you've got an overall commanding general like a Patton or a MacArthur, do you have a 5-star general. Only in wartime specifically do you have a 5-star general. An Army general commands several divisions, 3 to 5 divisions. So if we only have 16 divisions out there, along with the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who is always a 4-star, and I could imagine 1 or 2 more 4-stars at the Pentagon for various reasons because politics.
But fuckery.
We shouldn't have more than
8.
10 tops. We shouldn't have more than 10 tops.
There's what, 21, 22 sitting up there?
Well, let me bring that screen back up real quick. Last time we had rank density was April 1945 when we had 4 5-stars and 13 4-stars. Okay. It's a big war. I get this. I don't know why they had 4 5-stars. Theater generals. It had to have been theater generals. Cogliani's pointed out, adding time in the Air Force was known as the U.S. Army Air Force. Yes, it was. In addition to Army Chief of Staff and Army Vice Chief of Staff, the Army has 5 4-stars running Army Forces Command, Army TRADOC. You don't need a 4-star for TRADOC. What the hell is that crap? Army Material Command, Futures Command, and Pacific Command. That's the 4-star general that I worked for, was PACOM. That was General Schwartz at the time. Currently, the Army holds 10 4-star positions in the joint world, starting with General Mark Milley, who is a useless POS. 3 of these newly confirmed joint positions as of June 30th, there were 14 4-stars in the Army alone, according to Defense Department figures. But General Gus Perna, who is the commander of Material Command, made 15. It's just ridiculous. You don't need this many of these guys. They have specific purposes. And like I said, I could get behind, okay, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, he's got to have some clout because the other guys who are commanding armies who are 4-stars, they need to respect this guy. All right. I'll buy into that. But TRADOC is, for those of you out there who don't know, that's Training and Doctrine Command. That's the schoolhouse kiddies.
You should not.
You don't need a 4-star. 2-star can run that.
A 1-star can run that.
I mean, that's fair, but I mean, you gotta have a certain level of rank in places like that, or nobody will respect them. It's the senior officer BS. You know what I'm talking about.
What I saw taking place at TRADOC before I got out of the service, they're fucked anyway. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, it's a bunch of clowns. It was good when I went through in the early 90s, and then as the 2000s came upon us, you could see the pipeliners were steadily worse and worse. They couldn't pass a PT test. They didn't know their basic skills. None of them went to CWEOC, which is where we learned to work all of our fancy whiz-bang gadgets and antenna theory. And it was just like, what the fuck you doing?
It's more like antenna art.
It's Hey, man,
It's not a theory.
I can make a 50-meter antenna.
No. I'm saying if you want it to work, it's an art. You can know all the theory you want.
No, it's not. It is straight up fucking caveman witch doctor shit.
Yeah, okay.
You need like a chicken bone and a piece of string and a little duct tape, some bubble gum,
Yep.
to make that shit work.
It's fucking nuts, man.
Especially, did you ever skip signals?
Oh yeah.
What, like off the ionosphere?
Yeah, with 104s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that kind of stuff, man. It's got to be, everything has to be exactly right, and you can't fart while you're doing it, or it screws up the signal.
It'll fuck it up.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
my thing is this. All right. First of all, everyone here on the show knows how I feel about officers. I have in my 33 years, I've probably interacted with a couple of dozen generals from 1
Three.
star all the way up to like 3-star. Never messed with any 4-star guys. And they are some of the most sleazy, backstabbing, ass kissing, throat cutting sons of bitches. Out of all of those generals I've ever interacted with, 2 of them were good. Meaning, when they told you something, they'd keep their fucking word. You know, good or bad. Like if you're fucking up and like, hey man, I'm gonna crush your nuts, they'll crush your nuts. Or if like you'll get this if you do all right, we're gonna take care of you. And they actually did it. The rest of these guys, they're just ticket punchers like all the other useless officers I've ever run across in the military. They'll just crush whoever's around them so they can get that next OAR and that next promotion, and they don't give a shit about the men underneath them at all.
That's absolutely correct. I knew 3 decent officers the entire time that I was in. The rest of them were all freaking dirt. I knew a bunch of good warrants. I knew a bunch of good warrant officers.
Yeah, but they don't count.
They're sort of a mythical creature. They're like fucking unicorns anyway.
Well, first of all, they're stocked up on disappearing ninja balls.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Okay, they
Mhm.
they speak ambiguity, which is
Ambiguity,
well no giddity, which is they,
giggity,
they
giggity. Yeah.
they laugh at your expense
Mhm.
and you don't even know it,
Mhm.
and they like travel like ghosts between the enlisted and the officer ranks.
Yes. One of my favorite things in the world was watching the 4-star come into our skiff after an exercise to give us an attaboy for doing a good job running the show. It was a huge communications exercise. Our particular unit ran the core cell, the what's called white cell. And the 4-star came by, and we had one of the CW5s in the skiff with us. And of course, we all snap to attention when the 4-star walks in. The CW5 standing there behind us with his hands in his pockets because he's got like 37 years in service and he might be leaving tomorrow and he just doesn't give a fuck. and, the 4-star didn't even blink.
Because they're invisible.
Yeah. Yes. And they also know everybody. So if you touch one of them, what they do is call everyone that's anywhere near anywhere you might go, and your life sucks for eternity. They were masters at that. I learned that real fast with anything above like CW3. They knew everyone. So if you dared to fuck with them, it would be like in the movie. What was the movie with Denzel Washington with the demon that jumps from body to
Oh
body
yeah,
and he
yeah.
has to kill himself out in the woods?
I know. I don't know the name of the movie, but
You know what I'm talking about? The demon could jump bodies, right?
yeah.
CW3 warrant officers can do that.
Get on
They
the
jump
phone.
bodies. You'll be
Fuck
talking to
this
him, and they're
guy
like,
up.
yeah, you'll go to another office, and he'll turn around and look at you and go, we really need to talk about that. You go down the hall, another guy's like, seriously though, we need to. And you're like, it's
All
really
right, so
creepy.
why don't we put up the pay table so we know what
Yes,
we're paying these useless fuckballs?
yes, let's do that. Let's share that tab instead. And useless fuckballs. Let's back it off a little bit and get it into. Is that readable? Can you read that?
To an extent.
To an extent, it goes up to 20.
So yeah, it's an O10.
Who do we want to look at there? That we got ranks up to 20. That's enough.
So a 4-star is 09.
A 4-star is 09, and they're making $18,000 a month. Okay, and
If
that's
they make
minimum of
4-star
20
in
years of
20.
service. Yeah,
You can get promoted that quickly when you're at war, but most of the time it's going to take you 24 years to get there.
by comparison, an E1 makes $2,000 a month. We made $620 a month when we went in.
I actually made less than that because I went in as an E1 nothing.
Oh, I went in as an E2. I got $620 a month. So yeah. Now they're making $2,000 a month.
And I came in while they used to show up with a gun and a box of money and pay you in cash.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, did it really?
The pay officer? Yeah, show up.
Really? You had a pay officer?
It was like an E7.
Wow. We were just past that. We had just gone to direct deposit, and you had to do direct deposit. They fucked up my first two, all the way through basic, and my first 3 weeks of AIT, I had no money.
Yep. Like they'd call us down while I was in basic at the end of the month, and they'd line us up by rank. And you'd walk up to the table, and you had a 45 on there, and you'd get out of my face. Sign here, get out of my face.
Nice.
It's like, I'm 17. I'm like, I've got all this cash.
Yeah, that was a lot of money then, though. It was a reasonable amount of money then.
Yeah, well, especially when I grew up poor. I had any money that I had. It took me forever to save up.
Yeah,
but they're getting 8. Go up to 09 over 24 years is more realistic.
09 over 24 years. Let's go over there. So that is the second from the top row there.
So they're making about 18.4, 18.5.
Do the math in your head real quick. That's $200,000, $300,000, $240,000 a year.
Correct, and that's just base pay. That doesn't cover the BAH
and all their other perks.
Get some professional pays in there as well.
Yep, we got professional pays. I maxed out on 3 flip pays for languages. I had jump status for a total of 6 months. Got danger pay for the Z when we were up there. For the year that we were up there, we got I think it was $45 a month danger pay. That's what your life was worth.
Yeah. But we're paying these guys almost 20 G's a month. And I would say probably 1/3 of them, they don't need them.
Yeah.
Maybe half of them.
Yep.
In all reality, in a non-wartime scenario, you only need 8 4-star generals tops.
So and we need your math head there. Somebody made $450 a month in 1975 as an E1. Yeah. And he points out that inflation is a big red flag too for that kind of money. Yeah, he's not wrong. So let's say World War II. How many divisions did the United States Army have in World War II? Let's look that up real quick.
All right. And you need to have 3 divisions for an army or a corps. I'm trying to remember. I think it's 3 divisions for a corps, 2 to 3 divisions for a corps.
Oh, I forgot corps level. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go to army. So an army's anywhere from 4 to 8 divisions for an army.
Dude.
Hey, you're still showing us the pay table.
I know. I just wanted to make sure I had the right thing first before I switched over. Share this tab.
All right.
You go. If this is correct, we had 106 divisions in play.
Wow, I was way off.
You wouldn't have all of those on the field at one time. You don't do that. That's not how it works. You rotate units in and out. There'd be guys in the back. There'd be guys training back stateside. There'd be guys.
During World War II, 80% of those divisions were called shake and bake divisions.
Yeah, they
And
just cobbled them together, basically.
yeah, they just threw a bunch of noobs together, ran you through basic. You're basically like a cohort, but you're actually part of a division.
The one good thing they did is with the infantry guys, once you were together in basic training, you were with those guys the whole time.
Yeah, it's called a cohort.
Yeah. That was a good thing. So you've got 1, 2, 5 airborne divisions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that's a lot of armor.
Yep. 20 armor divisions.
No, we're missing a few there. 15, 17, 18, and 19. So 16 armor divisions is still a lot.
Okay. Then you got your calves.
2 calves, 2 full calves. The big black scar, baby, out of Texas. Their scouts are pretty reliable.
Yeah.
First Cav scouts are pretty reliable.
Then you have all the standard infantry divisions.
1st to the 25th. But so these are I missed the core level. I don't know why I missed the core level. That would be 3 to 5 divisions to a corps, and then I think 2 corps to an army.
At a minimum.
At
so
a
it's
minimum.
6 to 8 divisions for an army.
Right.
Yep.
So army level is the 4 stars. You're still only talking a handful of 4 stars. Like 5 or 6 4 stars on the ground.
You're 100 divisions divided by 12. Yeah, 14, 15 4-star generals is about right. And the regular army is
that was
really
during a
small.
world war, though.
Yeah, but today's army is nowhere near that.
No, not even close. Not even close. So that's a lot of graft, and I know you got a lot of officers that camp. I knew a lot of captains and majors that should have been put out.
Yeah,
they should have been. We called it ration control point. They should have been ration control pointed, RCP'd out. And did you guys have that stuff? You had to have.
Yeah,
officers who were just camped.
Well, officers who got passed up twice usually were shown the door.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some captains like just go berserk because they got passed over for the second time and they're done.
They can still go to, I think, 16, 20, depending on their command.
I don't know.
We had one guy at Civil Affairs. God, what was his name? I can't remember anymore. We had 2 captains, Captain Perriott and Captain Bailey. That was the other one. Bailey just couldn't make the cut to major. He had made too many enemies in the senior officer ranks. So our colonel, because he was actually a decent guy, managed to just kind of keep him under the carpet until he hit 20, so that he could get his retirement. Because he was a good guy. He was actually a decent guy. And that's why he didn't get promoted.
Yeah, most of the good officers either get out by the time they're a major, or they get forced out by that rank as well.
Yeah,
and you're really left with just the douchebags at the top, which I can't fucking stand.
Right? Yeah, Captain Bailey would not submit to the brass fellatio.
Nope.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat caser box.